This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
And I'm Bill Bryant. It sure is good to have you with us, and we hope you had a great weekend. You're ready to go in this brand new week. Now at 6 a.m. we have a lot going on. We're tracking breaking news, and it could impact millions of travelers. Delta Airlines reporting that they are dealing right now with a worldwide system outage. We'll have the local update as well.
A young boy had to be rushed to the hospital after falling into a pond at the Lexington Cemetery. Well, the latest on what police think happened coming up.
And on WKYT, a traffic alert at Jessamine County Road now back open. It follows an overnight crash.
And it looks like another nice one for most of us today. Small chance of rain in the southeast. There's a low pressure system just to the south of us with a front and a lot of moisture heading our direction. I'll show you when we can expect that coming up.
All right, thank you very much. And let's get right to the news. We're tracking a WKYT breaking news alert.
Delta has grounded flights because of a major computer outage.
It's impacting millions of travelers around the world right now. WKYT's Mike Byer is live at Bluegrass Airport in Lexington with the breaking details. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. So far, we're not seeing any delays here at Bluegrass Airport. A Delta flight was scheduled to take off at 5:50, and it appears that flight has taken off. Now, all of this started after complaints were coming in on Twitter from passengers. Delta Airlines responded by tweeting out that their systems are down everywhere. Because of the outage, the company says flights have been grounded. The company has not said what led to the outage, which is causing problems with checking in through the computer system. This is causing major delays at airports all over the world. Delta is urging customers to check their flight status before heading to the airport. They say they're working on the issue and hope to have everything resolved soon. Now, we spoke with a few Delta customers who said they did not experience any delays getting through the line and getting to security and to their and all of that. So she did say, and the other customer as well too, that they were checked in manually, and as you can see, the line behind me is slowly building up, but so far customers have said they have not experienced any kind of mishassle or anything, that they are being checked in manually, and so far so good. That's the latest here at Bluegrass Airport. I'm Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, and we'll keep you updated as we know that the problem is maybe you get to your hub and then there are issues there, so we'll
can sometimes be a domino effect. Yeah,
other airlines, so we'll see how it all goes. Hopefully they can get it all fixed quickly. An 11-year-old boy was hospitalized after falling into the Lexington Cemetery pond.
A really tough situation here. Police tell us they think the boy was fishing with two other kids. He slipped and fell into that pond. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with details. How's this little boy doing?
Good morning, Rebecca. That boy was in the water for 30 minutes before he was pulled out of the pond. Last night we learned that he had life-threatening injuries, and this morning we are still working to get an update from investigators. Now, police have told us that this 11-year-old boy was at the Lexington Cemetery trying to fish with two of his friends. Investigators tell us that that boy slipped and fell into that pond. Again, he was with two other children who ran for help. They found the groundskeeper at the Cove Haven Cemetery nearby. She tells WKYT that they had fishing line wrapped around their legs. The Lexington Cemetery was closed when investigators say the three children snuck onto the grounds. The groundskeeper says people cut their way through the Cove Haven Cemetery all the time to get into the Lexington Cemetery. She worries that another tragedy could happen if something does not change soon. Now, coming up on WKYT News at 6:30, we'll take a look at why this sad case is not the only reason why police are now getting involved. We'll take a look at what they're hoping to do to make sure that this does not happen again. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
We'll look for that story in just a few minutes. Thank you very much, Mark. 4 people are facing charges after police say 2 men were found murdered in Lee County. State police arrested Anthony Taylor, Kevin Kendall, Wesley Johnson, and Cassandra White. Police say the victims, Billy Rorick and James Brown, were found dead over the weekend on Hell Creek Road. Rorick's friends say he'd been hanging around the wrong crowd, but they're now hoping for justice.
He had a good heart, and no matter what he did or what people say he did, he was a good person, and, you know, nobody deserves what he got.
We've been tracking the investigation since the incident began. You can read more details on the case and get updates on WKYT.com. A jury trial gets underway today in a Lexington murder case. Police say that Paris Charles killed his friend Golda Massey at his home on Chatsworth Drive 2 years ago. Investigators say they later found Massey's severed arms and torso along the banks of the Kentucky River in Jessamine and Henry counties. Charles is charged with murder and abuse of a corpse.
Good news for drivers in Jessamine County this morning. North 3rd Street in Nicholasville is back open after an overnight crash near the railroad overpass. The road was shut down overnight because a car crashed into an electrical pole. There were no reports of power outages because of the crash. Crews thought the road would have been closed for another hour while repairs were made, but the road did reopen about 30 minutes ago. An Owsley County woman accused of murdering her parents is back in jail this morning, just days after being released. State police say Lynette McQuinn shot and killed her parents at their home in Boonville back in May. The jail was forced to release McQuinn Friday because a grand jury had not indicted her yet. The Commonwealth has 60 days to present a case to the grand jury for indictment. But just 48 hours after she was released, troopers arrested McQuinn again, this time on burglary and drug possession charges. Police say McQuinn was caught trying to break into her parents' home.
Now 6:06 here on WKYT this morning. A deadly crash in Montgomery County is under investigation this morning. The sheriff there says it happened on I-64 when a truck slammed into the back of a semi in the westbound lanes near mile marker 104. The truck was pulling a utility trailer that ended up in the median. The sheriff tells us that 2 people inside the truck, a man and a woman, were both killed. Their names have not been released yet.
A temporary water feature in downtown Lexington will stay open for a few more weeks. Splash Jam was supposed to close this Wednesday, the first day of classes for students in Fayette County, but the park posted on Facebook that it will stay open through Labor Day weekend. Splash Jam is located in Lexington's northeastern park. It's open 10 in the morning till 8 p.m. each day. Organizers say the hours could change, though, after school starts.
And we want to tell you about something fun that you can also be helpful with. Today you can chow down on some pizza and have some family fun all at the same time. We will be helping out animals in Whitley County in southeastern Kentucky. It's the Pizza for Pets event at the Pizza Hut in Williamsburg. There will be pizza, of course, plus a dunking booth, face painting, a few raffles and other activities. The event is from 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock this evening, and all of the money raised will help the Knox Whitley Animal Shelter.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
64 degrees right now in Mount Sterling. That is an incredible feel. If anybody's headed back to school today, just know this is a good start to the day. Now, I will say this. There is a small chance of rain down toward the southeast later on this afternoon, and that's the best bet of rain today. Not so many of us will actually see some of that rain. Already seeing a couple of showers spark up back toward east and southeastern Kentucky. There is still a boundary right along that area in the mountainous regions. You're getting bits and pieces of showers rolling through Paintsville, Inez, Prestonsburg, Weeksbury. Go just north there of Pikeville, heading northbound just right along that 119 corridor and 460. So it's not extremely rainy, but there's still that chance there. So a slight chance early this morning for that region. A little better opportunity than everybody else. By the afternoon, we're at 86 degrees. Today is actually a really nice day. It's not all that bad, but there is a chance of rain down toward the southeast, and that goes through the afternoon off into the evening hours. Let me break it down for you. I've highlighted an area for you to show you that. Now, if you're down toward the south and the southeast, we're talking about Whitley County with that pizza and all those that activity later on this evening at 5 to 8 p.m. You do have that chance of rain. It's unfortunate, but it's there, and you can see about a 40% chance of rain anywhere from Whitley City, Pine Knot, go through the Jellicoe Mountain all the way up the Hal Rogers Parkway into far east and southeastern Kentucky. That's your best opportunity today. Let's talk about back to school. Like I said, if you're heading back to school today, it's not a bad day. Now, the next few days, it's going to be a different story. Tuesday through Thursday, off into your Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, kids aren't in school, but Tuesday through your Friday, it just looks like a 40 to 60% chance of rain. Depending on where you are, it's going to be hit and miss. Some see the heavy rain, some do not, but nonetheless, it is there. Keep that in mind as you travel off through your next several days. So here's your breakdown of your 7-day forecast. It looks really, really rainy there with all the icons going on the screen, but remember, it's a 40 to 60% chance of rain, not a 100% chance of rain. So it's more of those. Some see the heavy rain, some will not. The best opportunity to stay dry will be today. Keep that in mind because the moisture is still south of us. I was just looking at some of these weather models. 10 to 20 inches of rain for portions of the Gulf of Mexico, Florida Panhandle, go off toward Mobile, Mobile Bay. I mean, they are looking at awful, awful rain. That's a bad flash flooding
like
setup
Destin,
right there.
that area.
Destin, Florida, Panama City, all those locations. Luckily, we're not going to get that, but we're still, our ground's so soaked that anything's not going to help us.
Because we have it over the beaches of the Gulf right now.
Right. Luckily, kids are going back to school and nobody's traveling down there right now. So, it's,
well, probably a few down there. That's the thing.
True.
You know.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Mike. It's 6:10 on WKYT right now.
Let's bring you a little bit of traffic right now. See how things are moving on your Monday morning.
Here's Officer Don with a check on what's happening out there on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning. Just had a look at the north side of Lexington from Boardwalk all the way over to Winchester Road on the inner and outer loops of the circle, and we're doing okay in that area right now. Inbound Newtown Pike and North Broadway seem to be moving on any major problems. Going to overall look at Lexington this morning and the drive times on the way in. We're good to go from Nicholasville. No problems coming in from Versailles, and even from Georgetown on 75 are in good shape. There's a live look at Winchester and Loudon. No problems report through that intersection. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, very good. Looks pretty nice out there this morning for a Monday. Let's make the best of it, right?
Yeah, you gotta qualify it there.
Get yourself together. All right, 6:11 on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air, starting to see the light of day here on this Monday at 6:15. Beaches are a big part of Rio de Janeiro's beauty.
Yes, they're beautiful, right? But looks can be deceiving in this case.
Because they smell.
Yeah, lurking under the water is a dirty little secret. Dead animals, garbage, raw sewage that flows from the area's poor communities called favelas. Jamie Yukas takes us inside.
A waterfall of trash and sewage flows from the top of Rocinha, Rio de Janeiro's largest favela. The Brazilian government promised improvements would be made after winning its Olympic bid in 2009. But residents say nothing has ever been done to treat the water.
To host an Olympic event in Rio de Janeiro is equivalent of a father going through a difficult financial situation, decides to throw a party and invites all of his friends instead of taking care of his family.
Luis Oliveira has lived here his whole life and walked us up and down treacherous stairs and through skinny alleyways. Rivers of garbage flow around every corner. All of that dirty water from the favela ends up here. And let me tell you, even 200 feet up, you can still smell a very foul odor.
I already found many plastic bottles, rats, cats, dogs, condoms, syringes, and diapers.
Marcelo Fadias' love of surfing puts him in water that could make him sick with anything from norovirus to hepatitis, according to a study commissioned by the Associated Press. He now documents everything and uses social media to show the world that Rio's beautiful-looking beaches have a very ugly secret.
My hope is that someone or a company see what's happening and help us. Because if we depend on the government of Rio de Janeiro, we won't get any solution.
It would mean more than catching a break, because if the Olympics didn't bring change, many wonder what will. In Rio de Janeiro, Jamie Yukas, CBS News.
Well, the problem happens throughout Rio. The city is home to upwards of 1,000 favelas, more than any other city in Brazil.
Time this morning is 6:17 on WKYT. Donald Trump is set to deliver an economic speech to the prestigious Detroit Economic Club later today. Trump will outline what he would do to improve economic growth if he's elected president. His Democratic rival Hillary Clinton will also deliver what aides are billing as a major economic speech in Detroit on Thursday. Aides say Clinton will outline her economic plans and argue that Trump is only focused on the wealthiest Americans.
Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server resurfaced yesterday following news that Iran executed a nuclear scientist who was spying for the U.S. At least one email sent to the Democratic nominee in 2010 was when she was Secretary of State. It appears to mention the scientist. Iranian officials hanged him yesterday for allegedly giving information to the CIA about Tehran's nuclear program.
On WKYT, the U.S. trade deficit has climbed to a 10-month high, driven up by a spike in imports of oil, cell phones, and clothing. The Commerce Department reports the deficit rose to $44.5 billion in June, with imports outpacing exports. Music to the ears of Spotify fans this morning, a new feature aimed at making it easier for subscribers to find new sounds that fit their personal taste. Release Radar is similar to the service's Discover weekly playlist, but the focus is on recently released tunes. Well, if you're planning to hit the road before summer is over, we have some news for you. It's a good time. According to AAA, gas prices across the country are the lowest they've been in 12 years. The average price for a gallon of regular is $2.12. Pokemon Go is now banned in Iran. Iran is the first country to ban the popular smartphone game, citing security concerns. Other countries have expressed worries over security-related issues as well. The pizza ATM is soon going to be here. It'll be a reality. Xavier University in Ohio is about to unveil a new contraption that pops out hot pizzas on demand for hungry students. It's the first machine of its kind in the U.S. So far, students are giving it a thumbs up. It just makes sense. An idea whose time has come.
Yes, long overdue, perhaps, right? Hopefully you can ask for extra crispy crust. That's what I like. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. A laundromat owner is considering himself lucky to be alive. You'll have to see what happened to him. Looks like a close call to me.
Yikes, that didn't look good right there. Here's what looked good outside, though. 66 degrees in Lexington, 64 in Boyle County. A really nice day in store. Small chance of rain southeast, but then the rain picks up next several days. I'll have that coming up next.
Welcome back at 6:23 on your early Monday morning.
It is early, and there are problems already going on out there.
Especially for travelers. Delta Airlines reporting that all flights are grounded following a global systems outage.
And that's what's trending in this hour. We want to get you the latest. Delta has been tweeting that its computer systems are down everywhere, and all flights awaiting departure have been delayed. Now, we have had at least one flight take off from Bluegrass Airport this morning. Apparently, we have no word on what may be causing this issue and how long the backups will last.
Lexington police say an 11-year-old suffered life-threatening injuries after falling into a pond at the Lexington Cemetery. Police say the boy was fishing in the pond with two other kids when he slipped and fell in. Investigators think the three snuck into the cemetery. Crews tell us they found the boy in 7 to 8 feet of water. They think he was in there for half an hour.
Micah telling us this may be the day to get some things done before we anticipate some rain moving in.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moisture down toward the Gulf of Mexico. You see all that moisture right there? Believe it or not, that stays there for the next several days. It does not move. They're expecting 10 to 20 inches of rain across the Gulf of Mexico and work your way back towards, say, New Orleans. That is a nasty area right there. Will that make its way northbound? Absolutely not. However, bits and pieces of it will, and that'll give us chances of rain each and every single day tomorrow off into your weekend, which could actually rise that flash flooding concern once again this week. Temperatures in the 60s, a couple of 70s down southeast. That's kind of the area that shows you cloud cover over there, and also a few showers now back toward, say, Floyd and Pike. Not, and also Martin counties at this moment. But it's a nice morning for most, virtually all of us except for that area with a couple of showers. Now, as we get through your day, it's mostly down toward the southeast, and that's really what we're going to be watching out for. A couple of showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. Most stay dry, though, guys, but like I was talking about, the next few days, rain will be on the increase, and that flash flooding concern will be on the increase along with it. I'll show you that, and I'll break it down for you day by day coming up.
Okay, that full forecast here in just a little bit. All right, about this time every morning, it's now 6:25 or so, we like to show you something interesting, some video, and a dramatic crash was caught by security cameras at a Wyoming laundromat as a car slammed full speed right into the front of the business.
Very dramatic video. Take a look. This was the disturbing scene as it unfolded. The car virtually appears out of nowhere and crashes into the building while 3 people were inside. The laundromat owner, Steve Gibson, only suffered a few nicks and bruises, but he considers himself lucky.
I don't believe the brakes are ever hit. He hit the car door to door, side to side, shoved it a spot and a half over, and came right through the front window.
Wow. Look at that. Oh, there it goes. That'll hurt. 3 people were injured, including the driver of the Dodge Charger. Police are still trying to figure out exactly what led to the crash.
I mean, to see him standing there and then the
Can
hit
you
with
imagine?
a vehicle and then he's okay. It's
Yikes. Whew.
There's the sound. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Gotta hate it when that happens. All right, 6:26 on WKYT here on your Monday morning.
When we return, an overnight shooting is under investigation this morning in Lexington. We got details coming up at 6:30.
All of our top stories are coming right up, and tonight's Mega Millions is $38 million. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $67 million. Keep it here on WKYT this morning.